You're about to tap into the digital marketing strategies that separate thriving law firms from the ones struggling to keep up. Join James Campbell as we break down the roadblocks holding your practice back and reveal the insider tactics attorneys are using to scale past 7 figures. From cutting-edge digital marketing tips to exclusive interviews with industry leaders, we're giving you the playbook to attract higher-quality clients, dominate your market, and build a firm that runs like a growth machine. Your next breakthrough starts now. This is the Marketing Lawcast.
Welcome to today's training, Expand Your Empire, SEO Strategies for Multi-Location Growth. I'm your host, James Campbell, and today I'm really excited to spend the next half hour or so explaining how you, as the estate planning or elder law attorney, can dominate search results and grow your revenue in every market that you serve. Think of today's session as reconnaissance. We'll chart a route from being a single stronghold to building a network of thriving territories or new offices online. Whether you have 2 offices or 10, the principles and the strategies we're going to cover today will help you capture more visibility, more leads, and ultimately more clients. If you're here, you probably already know the challenges. Maybe your main office ranks well, but your other locations feel sort of invisible online. Or maybe you're planning to expand and you want to make sure you hit the ground running for each new market. Guys, by the end of this session, you'll know exactly how to use SEO to make every office a revenue engine, not just your headquarters. That's one thing we want to make sure that we make happen for you is that all of your locations are revenue engines. Now, before we jump into today's strategy, let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll get into the specifics of building your SEO empire.
Growing your estate planning empire in multiple locations requires brilliant strategy. With integrity marketing, it's checkmate. Watch our training for territorial conquest. Book a discovery call and start building your empire.
SEO doesn't scale automatically, guys. Here's the thing. Just because you've opened up a new office location doesn't mean Google will magically recognize it as relevant for local searches. Think of it as like opening up a shop in a new town. If you don't put up a sign, introduce yourself to the neighbors, get listed in the local directory, no one's going to know you're there. That's what happens when you launch a new location without location-specific SEO, without a strategy built specifically for that location. It's just not going to happen. So, if you've claimed your sort of capital city, but your outer territories sort of remain in the shadows, your new outposts are sort of invisible to Google. Your current SEO is built for a village, not for a growing kingdom. So you've got to start taking advantage of all the opportunities that are out there when it comes to SEO, leveraging some of these directories and content. And guys, if you're attracting more tire kickers than qualified noblemen, okay, landowners, we don't want to attract the tire kickers. We want to be seen as the authority in every location so that we're attracting the best people from those locations. Most SEO strategies only work for one location. A lot of firms have a strong homepage that gets a lot of traffic, but their other locations are like ghost towns online. We often see when folks come to us and they have the multiple location type of a firm, we see that they have duplicate content where, for example, the Minneapolis page is basically a copy of the St. Paul page, which is a copy of a different page, and Google absolutely hates that. Or worse, those pages are buried in your navigation where no one can find them. If your Google business profiles aren't robust, as well as having robust content, guys, these locations never show up in the map pack. And you lose out to those local competitors who are optimized. So we've got to take care of all the things that really move the needle. Relevance plus proximity plus trust is how you gain that multi-location authority. So to win in multiple markets, each location has to be a self-sustaining force. Google rewards businesses that look sort of rooted in the community. That means that the content is unique. The images have alternate text. that's maybe geotagged from that local area. You have fresh reviews, you have local engagement signals for every location. So we can't just be beefing up the reviews on your primary Google business profile. If someone from your Minneapolis office hires you and wants to leave a great review, they need to leave that review on your Minneapolis GBP. But if they came through your St. Paul office, they need to leave that review on the St. Paul office GBP. All right, when we work with firms, we build multi-location SEO around 3 primary pillars. And it starts with the website. So the website architecture, a structure that makes it easy for Google to understand where each office is and for visitors to find the right one. So it's sort of like developing the map for Google to see, oh, this is where your office is. This is how we get there. And we make it very simple and obvious for Google to do that. Then we also have to have your Google business profiles. So they need to be fully optimized, accurate, and active for each location. And that activity comes from answering questions, getting reviews, there's updating images, there's lots of ways to do that. We deploy all of them. And then we need to have city-specific content, pages that speak directly to the people in that market, answering their questions. So it requires some research on what those questions are. We have to do some keyword research to find out what people are typing in those markets. Guys, if we get these 3 right, we've laid the foundation for long-term dominance to be the go-to person in that market for the long haul. And that's really the key to winning this battle. So your local stronghold needs to be heightened and thought of for every battle that you go into. So your Google business profile is sort of like your front door. It's often the very first impression someone gets of your firm. So high quality photos, consistent updates, positive reviews, all of these build trust before someone even clicks over to your website. Now multiply that across every location you serve, and you can see why a single missing or outdated profile or having something look lackadaisical or DIY can cost you serious opportunities. Legal empires must meet higher standards. In estate planning, you're not selling shoes. You're not the cobbler in the village here, okay? You're handling some of the most personal and sensitive matters in someone's life. And that's one of the reasons that Google's algorithm of EEAT, which equates to experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. They use that algorithm to evaluate your content and all of your profiles. It's not enough to say that you're the best. Okay, your content, reviews, and online presence have to prove it for each and every market. You can't just focus on your first and primary headquarters of a market. Let's take another quick commercial break before we jump into how Google's AI is shaking things up.
Growing your estate planning empire in multiple locations requires brilliant strategy. With integrity marketing, it's checkmate.
Google's search generative experience. It's powered by, you've seen it on Google, I'm sure. It's powered by Gemini. Guys, that is rewriting the rules. So instead of showing a list of blue links, it gives a summarized answer right at the top. And it's often pulling from a handful of trusted sources. If your content isn't one of those trusted sources, my friends, you don't just drop a few positions in your ranking, you disappear from the conversation entirely. This means it's no longer enough just to rank well. You've got to be structured and trustworthy enough to be referenced by AI directly. So firms that invest in high quality, locally relevant content are much more likely to be featured in these summaries, putting them in front of prospects faster without the need to click. And people trust those AI answers. It almost feels like the AI has said, oh, these are the best ones. You can look through all the search results, but I've done the research for you. Here's the top 3. Here's the best people. Here's the only one you should trust, or something like that. Whatever Google says, it says there, and people use it. So what's it take to appear in Google's AI answers? Well, it takes quite a bit. So to be featured, you have to answer specific questions. You have to structure the site, use clear formatting such as headings, bullet points, structured FAQs. This helps Google understand and feature your content. You have to demonstrate your expertise and trustworthiness by providing legally accurate information and showcasing your credentials. So if you have great reviews on Avvo, if you have great reviews on Google, you have testimonials on Yelp, whatever the case may be, all of those things contribute to AI being able to find you. Also, regularly publishing content that's helpful, up to date, and specific to each location. Google's AI wants to give you the most relevant information. So they're still using the map pack, but if we want to get into the AI answers through Gemini, we have to make it easy for Gemini to find us. Okay, we have to follow the things that Gemini uses to say this is the authoritative source. Okay, so when IMS optimizes your website and content strategy, we do it to meet these standards. This also increases your odds of being cited and found in those AI search results. And the more you can lay the framework and track for that to happen now as this transition is happening, the better positioned you're going to be. I'll talk a little bit about a case study here. Phil Roos. When Phil came to us, his cost per lead was high, his visibility was low, his prior agency wasn't taking responsibility for the results, and so he came to us. After implementing our competitive location-specific SEO strategy, here's what's happened. First off, he's ranking number 1 for estate planning attorney in Minneapolis, which is where his main hub is, but he's also ranking number 1 for his second location, which is in Woodbury. He had a 500% increase in his traffic to his Google business profile and to his clicks. He had an increase of 20% in his organic sessions. Everything lit up for him. Okay, everything sort of came to life when we started implementing strategies that set him apart. He was already a fantastic attorney. He was already the best one. It just needed to be proven to Google online. This created as you can probably imagine, an over 7-figure increase in revenue year over year, which is pretty phenomenal. And you can kind of blame all that on SEO, okay? But it's not just Phil. I'll talk a little bit about Gabe Hubbard. Gabe, Graber, and Johnson. He's went from 1 location to optimizing and now profitable in 5 locations. Troy Werner is in Southern California, has really dominated probate and carved out that he wants to be the probate guy in SoCal. And he has 10 locations, a few of which provide estate planning, but all of which provide probate help. So we've carved out that for him and optimized each location so he can get consistent probate business from each location. And then there's Andrew Sigerson. He's located in the Midwest. He has 3 different locations, and all 3 locations are in different states. So it's not even just in the same city or proximity, but different states altogether. And tying all this together so that you have the sort of the poshness, the credibility of your primary location that feeds and supports maybe your fledgling or newer locations. And as you get this strategy going, those are no longer fledgling locations. They become powerhouses similar to how the hub office is. And that's the goal. So your SEO partner for multi-location growth, guys, this is us, okay? When we implement these things for these SEO strategies for the folks you just saw, they're not overnight wins. They're the result of consistent, location-focused SEO strategies. When we work together, IMS is not just tweaking a few meta tags, okay? Our team is building a system that's designed to scale with your firm, whether you have 1 new office or 5. That means your architecture, your content, your local profiles, all of that is designed to grow with you. So obviously we're going to optimize your Google business profiles. We're going to get all of that up to date. We're going to pull photographs and create the categories and start providing location-specific content, including service pages and frequently asked questions, and highlighting testimonials that speak to each community and location. We want you to have success beyond just the framework of growing revenue. But if we can create market dominance in each location, this is sustainable and helps our clients stay ahead of the curve and sort of hold that spot in their market for a competitive advantage. So you start with is a full SEO audit for all of your locations. Then we develop a custom plan, optimize your Google business profiles, city-specific content, and then we provide reporting so you know exactly what's working. It's like having a dedicated marketing team that's just laser focused on making you the top choice for the markets that you serve. Now, here's where things get a little bit dicey, and everybody needs to pay close attention. First, SEO takes time. It takes momentum to get built up. But the longer you wait, the harder it is to catch up. If you're serious about expanding, the best time to start is before you need the results. So if you're ahead of your competitors when it counts, AI is making it much easier for less experienced firms to appear to be the authority. We need the experienced firms, the real attorneys that understand exactly how estate planning works and provide honest peace of mind to real people. We're not selling to AI. It's honest to God, real people that are out there. We don't want the document drafters to work with people who need more than just a document. They need somebody that understands estate planning and can help them solve their problems. And that's who our clients truly are. They're problem solvers. They care about their clients. They don't just peddle documents. So don't get left behind by those competitors who don't care the same way that you care, don't have the experience that you have. Let's make sure that we expand your empire. So what you can do next is book your discovery call. When you book your call, we'll do a little reconnaissance of our own. So we'll do an audit for your primary location. And if you have any satellite or secondary locations, list those in your discovery call form, and we'll run an audit for those as well. And then we'll map out a path to market domination. We'll show you exactly what it would take to put yourself in a position to win and expand and grow your empire.
That's a wrap on this edition of the Marketing Lawcast. Thanks for joining us. Head over to imsrocks.com. If you're ready to skyrocket your firm's marketing, don't hesitate to book a free strategy call with our team right on our website. Here's to your success.